Oh yes, good evening traders. Bernard here, presenting to you a new video. Actually, the intention for doing this video is following the release of our updated versions for both. We released an updated version of Binary Profit Maker version 4, that is from version 3. We also released an updated version of the Binary Ninja 3. That is an improvement over what we had as version 2. And so this is going to be a quick video just to introduce you to the few changes that have been made and how to trade this system. Just to let you know that Binary Profit Maker is made up of non-repainting indicators. Of course, the lines you see here are simple moving averages, basic moving averages. They're actually smoothed moving averages. Don't worry about that. This is a custom-made indicator down here. Our BWC trend dashboard tells you when the market is trending up, down, or ranging. Okay, and the arrows, of course, our arrows, custom-made arrows, and a timer. I believe that's what you have on the chart. It's pretty naked. Note that clogged with indicators. This is the Binary Profit Maker, and if you trade it according to the rules, you have the chance of scoring actually around 70 to 80% win rate on average. Okay, and that means if you're going to do like 10 trades a day or 100 trades in a row, we believe that from the assessment made on the system, even using it, back testing it, you are able to get around 70 to 80 of those trades being winners. Okay, your package would come with everything, including, of course, we have an indicator here that gives you support and resistance levels automatically drawn for you. I recognize that traders have challenges drawing these levels, and so I've tried to fine-tune these levels so that as compared to the past, where we had levels a bit close to one another, this version 4 has levels a little bit neater than those that were there before, so that you only trade major levels. Okay, so you will have these are the indicators you have for Binary Profit Maker. Okay, this is a custom indicator, a custom indicator, a custom-made indicator. Of course, the others are things you can pick from online. Okay, then I'll take you through very quickly on how to use this system. And then this is Euro USD today. As you can see, we are in current market. The time now is about 10 p.m., 2 hours to midnight. Now, trading this system, I'm trading on 1 minute chart. Of course, you can trade on other time frames. This is what I look for. Okay, and as I spelled that in the PDF that gives instructions on the previous video, what happens is the signals come very close to when price is approaching a support resistance level. Do remember that reversals and trend continuations happen at those major levels, support and resistance, and so our signals will be taken around those levels. Okay, but now remember, we have a trend filter down here. We also have another trend filter in the form of moving averages. The signals alert you to potential trades. It does not mean every time you see this arrow you start trading. It simply alerts you that there's a potential trade setting up, either immediately or a few candles later. Okay, now for example, I get my first set. This is the beginning of today. The arrow comes here. I will draw my line there. Okay, let me just make it dotted so it doesn't eat other space. Okay, and maybe what color do I give it? Let me give it white. Let's try that. All right, so I get my arrow here. The next thing I need to check is, are we in an uptrend or a downtrend? The candle, as rule number 1, the candle with the arrow has broken. Look at that. The candle with the arrow has broken below a support. The greens are the support, the reds are the resistance. So the candle with the signal arrow has already broken support. So I expect that there is going to be a reversal, a short reversal upwards. Okay. The next thing I need to check is, we are in an uptrend or a ranging market, but never a downtrend. So when I check down here, the histogram is green, so we are in an uptrend. Then I go back and check my moving averages. What is happening around there? I see the moving averages are about crossing over. And when I see that happening, with the green sharply turning down, let me zoom, the green moving average is sharply turning down, then I am not interested. Even the red one is pointing down. So then it means this is not a valid setup. If you look at the size of the candle, that's a likely breakout candle. So I ignore that setup. Moving over, our next setup is here. As I pointed out in the manual, for those who have this system already, when we have a sharp downtrend, as pointed out by the moving averages sloping down sharply and separated nicely by a good gap, a good distance, price may not actually manage to break resistance, just possibly touch it and then reject. This is what happened here. We got our arrow here. Okay. We waited one more candle. Remember, this is a downtrend. Histogram says downtrend. Price is approaching resistance. Okay. Coming from below. The downtrend is confirmed as strong using the moving averages. The next candle touches resistance here. That candle with the vertical line here. So you waited, you don't enter here. You wait, it touches there, immediately you enter setup for 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. That will be your first winning trade. Let me turn this back to yellow. Okay. Then we wait. Later on, we get another candle touching resistance. Look at that. All right. What is happening at that point? There's a nice gap, a separation between the red and the green. We are still touching resistance. There is rejection from this level. As you can see, the wick only closed above that level. The histogram here says downtrend. Another setup for 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You closed your trade there. ITM. Now remember, we are trading puts at resistance and trading calls at support. But if price has gone a good distance, I'll show you when you can use reversed roles, that is support acting as resistance and resistance acting as support. For example here, price closed sharply below this support, traded several candles below that level, all right? Then the next thing you know is price comes back to the same level, all right? Closing above that level, we have a sharp downtrend. You enter trade there for 5 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your third ITM for the day. We move on. We have a downtrend here. This is an arrow. Now I don't see any level next to it except if I wanted to extend earlier levels like here. You see, if I extended this level, previous level support, which is acting as resistance, price had broken below that level, comes back above that level. You get your arrow, you are at resistance. Even the doji confirms the uptrend, the short uptrend is not going to proceed as such. The lines are sharply pointing down. I enter 5-minute put or down signal, and there we go. The next thing I know is I have another. Like I told you, one interesting thing with these indicators, you only get sell signals in downtrends and buy signals in uptrends. You don't get confused. You will not have this arrow pointing up in a downtrend. So here we have another arrow. The next thing you see is, okay, I have an arrow here. I have a candle. Do we have a level next to it? The point is, price had broken below this level, stayed below that level for several candles, confirming this level is strong. Price comes back to the same level. See? Same level, just extend. I say that in my manual. You extend. So price closes above this level. The downtrend is still strong. The next thing I know is I will enter my trade somewhere here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be a loss. There's no hiding about it. Now, the next thing I know is, again, price goes below, comes back. All right. I don't count this as a proper signal, but let's see. The extension is from this past level. Price had traded below that by several candles, breaks above it. We have our arrow. If I enter trade, of course, the downtrend is there. The lines are nicely separated, the moving lines. If I enter for 5 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, That's an ITM. Let's do a last one, because I can demonstrate that. Maybe if I go to an uptrend, I'll show you the same thing. This is an uptrend here. We get this, but I don't see any level behind, so I'm not interested. But I get this. Now, what I was telling you last time is, what I was saying in the PDF or in the previous video is, sometimes in a very strong uptrend, price does not come all the way to support. It just barely touches. Now, what is happening here is you get your arrow here. But if you try to look back, do you see any support? It's just here. But if you really are a good trader, you traded support and resistance, you move back, you'll see there was a support here. Look at that level. Support where the line is. But let's say you don't have that kind of approach, then you ignore that signal because it does not agree with you. We have a setup here, but this is resistance. Price went up. Look at what's happening here. Closes up, jumps down, and closes up, jumps down. Are you seeing that? These are gaps. You don't trade immediately when gaps are like this happen, where price is starting at some point, closes up, the next candle starts where the other one started. You skip such kind of setups. But the best way to approach them then is you wait. If this is like a resistance level, you would wait until price comes to the next level, at least to fade off the effect or the impact created by this kind of candles. Do notice, opens here, closes here. The next candle, instead of opening up here, comes back to where the other one opened, then closes exactly where the other one closed. Instead of the next candle opening here where the other one closed, it jumps back down. So you try to avoid such, and then there's a gap here. So you take some time, because then it means price might just jump immediately down to fill the gap. But now we have support, resistance broken, downwards as support, and then when price comes to the next level, you are free to try another signal. Again, we are in a ranging market. It's not a downtrend. You can take a risky trade there for 5 minutes. So I think that's how you approach the markets when you're in an uptrend. Here is another good signal. All right. Price had broken above resistance, went several candles up, comes back down. We have an uptrend. The lines are sloping up. Price tries to break that level. Another 5 minutes ITM. So this is how the binary profit maker, guys, works. This is how binary profit maker works. All right. Gives you pretty accurate signals most of the time when price is just breaking a level. Here is another good signal. Just scanning, scanning the chart. Look at that. Signal comes at that level. Okay. Can you see that, guys? Signal comes at that level. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. This is the candle where the signal comes. But this is the candle where we take a trade. We wait for price to touch resistance. This candle here, that's where resistance was touched. Meanwhile, as you can see, we were still in a downtrend. So my entry would be right on the next candle, this one. And as you can see, for 5 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that was a clean winner. Okay, that's how we trade the binary profit maker. The rules are very simple. In a downtrend, as seen by the moving average lines, the red and the green. Of course, green has to be below the red. This is the shorter moving average. This is the longer moving average. What is it? This is the histogram. Histogram is red. The green is below the red. So these two are telling you the trend. Then you get a down arrow. That's a sell signal. The price or a candle has either touched or closed above resistance. Sometimes it is a former support that has been broken, therefore acting as resistance. When all those conditions are met, you enter a trade without issues. Now let me take you over to the binary ninja. The binary ninja uses quite a similar philosophy, but the indicators are totally different. The arrows are very different. Okay, if you looked at the 2 images carefully, you will have noticed that they are the same, taken within the same time span, 2nd of December yesterday. But you see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 arrows for binary profit maker. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 arrows, but the location of these arrows is different. Look at where the arrows are located. It's different. Actually, yeah, it's very different. Not exactly. There's no arrow here for binary profit maker, but there's an arrow here for binary profit for binary ninja. Binary ninja has an arrow. For binary profit maker, there is no arrow, for example. Now, the beautiful thing equally with the binary ninja is the arrows do not repaint. In fact, the moment the first arrow, the first green arrow stays on a closed candle, you are guaranteed that the next arrow will appear. That is how it is non-repainting. This one can appear and blink as this candle is forming, but the moment this candle is closed, this arrow is permanent and the next one is guaranteed and will appear immediately the candle starts forming. Okay. Now, what was happening here for profit maker is this arrow will appear when the candle is forming. If it remains there at candle close, guaranteed it will not repaint. Okay. Right. So again, for the binary ninja, there's non-repainting. This one gives you a pre-alert. The first arrow is to alert you. And if you realize after the pre-alert arrow, everything is okay, then you trade with the second arrow immediately. But sometimes you will have to wait a few more candles, as I'll show you. Again, 70 to 80% on average. I want to be a little bit conservative and modest. The cost is $100, just like the other one. I just brought it down for you guys. From binary profit maker was initially 250. I brought it down to 200, 150. Now we are doing 100 because I want it to be affordable to most of us. Again, when you get this package, everything is there. The trend dashboard, this one is here. The histogram is available. Support resistance is available. Moving averages will be there. The timer will be there, and the two arrows will be there. Okay, that's part of your license. Now back to the charts. Now the next one here, what you see here is the binary ninja. Let's try to trade it for today. Binary ninja at the beginning of today. Now, which arrows were there? Let's see. The first arrow comes here. Perfect. Nice gap between the moving averages. Nice gaps between the moving averages, as you can see. Sloping down nicely. Dashboard histogram says downtrend. Downtrend. You have your pre-alert signal. Which level has been broken here? This one has been broken, and this one has been broken. Let me show you. Okay, this level has been broken past level. Again, you can see there was a cluster of candles here confirming. And as I said, if the trend is very strong, a candle may not touch necessarily the support or resistance. So as a trader who has been in the market for long, I know that should be fine for me to trade. As I move on, I noticed later on there is another signal here. Okay. Now, this one is a very sharp uptrend. As you can see, again, the lines are sloping up. Histogram is up. Now, again, if you were careful enough, you would have noticed this is support, actually, the candle body. But of course, the lines are being drawn at the wicks. If you are one who has mastered how to draw the levels yourself, you would still see this arrow, not this one. Let me zoom it out. About like that. Where did we start from? Okay. We did that, yes. I was saying if you were to do that, you would notice that this is actually a zone. Let me do something like that. This is a nice zone here. Okay. Maybe I can draw it in a better way. Right, so here, that is a zone, a support zone. So I would have waited, okay? I would have waited for this candle to close, the next candle to close, because this is the one that I think touches this level. Then I would enter my trade right from here for 5 candles. But of course, even if you entered here, you'll still be doing well. Now, the next signal is also a put. Again, you will notice the arrows only come when we have a downtrend. And they sell for downtrend and buy for uptrends. Again, we have a pre-alert there. The downtrend is confirmed. The lines are pointing down. There's space between them nicely. The next thing I need to know is there a level here where the arrows appeared. I check past levels. The candle is touching just there. The next thing I need to do is enter my trade from the next candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which closed down here. Then I move on. The next day, the next signal comes here. We have it here. Again, we are in a downtrend. The wick is touching there. But now comparing this and this, you will notice that the two lines are beginning to slope up. But let's say you did not recognize that sloping up. If you entered that setup, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have lost that signal. That trade would have been a loss. The next one is a nice one. Pre-alert comes here, but where do we have support? Here. Our support is here. All right. So I'll wait for one more candle or two. Finally, price closes our support. Okay. After closing our support, my interest is now look at how this candle is formed. There is no wick below it. There is no wick below it, meaning it's a strong candle. There was no wick below the previous candle. It's a strong candle. I'll wait for some little bit of confirmation from price action here. All right. Price action from there will help me. Then at this candle, I will know that, price is rejecting moving down. And I'll enter from there for 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A win. I think that will be still a win. Yes, that'll be a win. Here is another one. Here is another one. But now, how do you trade this? There's a big gap here. And by the time you're picking this signal, let's see what happens. The previous level is here. So this one comes touching. My only problem with this setup is the lines are beginning to slope up. By the time you see this candle, this is pointing up, this is pointing up. This is the kind of setup I like skipping, or I would like to skip. Here I have no level to connect, so no past level to refer to. Then as I move on, let me just delete some of these lines. Remember, this is the Binary Ninja version 3. Binary Ninja version 3. As we move along, is there another setup? There's a setup here. But do we have a level next to it? I don't think. The price did not trade below that level, so I cannot rely on that level. Next thing is I see this. A nice arrow here. Uptrend, but price has not touched the level. By the time price is touching the level, what's happening to both? They are sloping down. So again, consider the slope of the moving lines. Here is another one. At least, as I say in the PDF, at least the red one must be either flat or pointing up. The green one is short. The shorter MA, so it might bend very quickly. Okay? Might adjust very quickly. Now, what is happening here? Price closed above this level and stayed above it for so many candles. Comes back. I'm hoping that when it approaches this line, I will be able to take a trade. So we get that one. Price is still far from the level. Price comes back to this level, very close to it, with a nice wick down. I can consider taking a setup. Please notice that many times after the green arrow for buys, you can wait for 1 to 2, sometimes 1 to 2 candles for a valid entry to happen. But if more than that, then you are likely to enter a changed trend. Now, what is happening here? We have this kind of setup, quite clear. But look at what's happening. Touching that level, very strong. This one, the red one, is beginning to slope down. That's fine. The green one is strongly sloping down. But look at the candle. A long wick on top, a shorter wick below, meaning price is likely adjusting. It's I cannot depend on that. Now, if I were to enter here because there is a better wick below, this is a case where you will still lose this setup. Okay? Losses are allowed. If you are not ready to lose a trade, then you are not, a serious trader. Okay? And you can go on and on and on and on to trade these things. And I think this one, if you traded it according to the rules, you would still, I don't know, is a win-lose or what? This is a losing trade. Yes, this would have been a losing trade. If you entered here, definitely following this resistance, this would have been a losing trade. Still losing 2 trades out of how many were this? Oh, I deleted that one, and I deleted the arrows. Okay. So friends, that's how we trade it. You can try trading this on 5 minutes as well. Let me switch it to 5 minutes. This is the binary ninja. You won't get too many signals, but the few you get are always nice ones. I know this one would be traded if you knew this is a resistance or a support right here, and how to exactly draw it, because I need to touch as many of these candles as possible. This one would have been an appropriate setup in a ranging market. This is a ranging market. This one, if you know what you are doing, would have been another nice setup, because that is a support level there. Considering support here, some bit of resistance, some bit of support. Actually, this is almost support. So would have been nice. Look at immediately how the line I drew here acted as resistance. Another win there. So 3 wins if you were to trade M5. If we go back to binary profit maker 4 on M5, then what kind of signals did we have here? We have close to same thing we had there. I can see a support level here, which also was resistance, and that is my signal there. Okay, that would have been a nice win. If you know, and again, we're in a ranging market, so all I can do is I will not trade a down or a sell in an uptrend. I will not do that. If it's blank, it's a ranging market. If it's red, downtrend. If it's green, uptrend. Okay, so the next one I get here is that, and if I were to trade that following the rules, I would lose that setup. Not a big issue. Losing some, winning some is okay. If I traded this setup right, quite perfect in all ways, at resistance, the lines are fine, the red one's at least flat, this one is red, I would have entered a 5 minute setup therefore, and that would have been a decent win. Okay, then again, here is another decent win. Why? If you look at where the candle stopped, you would see there was a level of support behind it, just like that. Look at that support, and you can extend it. Again, another win. Look at this, another win, because if you drew that level here, price is touching resistance, so you'll get another win there. Here, not valid because it has not even touched my level, but then maybe if I were to pick it from here, I would lose that trade, which is okay. Here, not yet. As I said, you have to wait for 1 or 2 more candles, comes down. By the time it's touching this level, all the lines are pointing down, and that's not good for setups. So guys, that is what we have here for binary profit maker and the binary ninja indicators version 4. Feel free to contact me if you need a licensed copy. Later on, of course, we're going to maybe upgrade them a little bit to improve their performance. Later on, of course, you have to use this one and let us know how you're progressing with it. Is it improving your results, or what is it that you are finding from it? Okay, so that is it from me for now. Bye bye, see you in the next video. This video will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, which is also Binary Winners Club, and you might find it on our Telegram channel, Binary Winners Club, as well as on Facebook, Binary Winners Club. So please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I already know if you're watching this, most likely you are already a member of our Facebook group and Telegram channel and group as well. So bye bye, catch you in the next video.